Okay, so this is the post lesson. Rodrigo, I think things went really well. The biggest thing that I think we worked on that helped you the most was your takeaway was really shallow.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you kind of introduce that leading edge a lot, and that's kind of explains the chunk. But I always say your body's smarter than you. So when you get into that, you're about to chunk it, sometimes you're like, dang, I'm about to chunk it. So you pull out, and that's where that thin comes into play. So that kind of explains the inconsistency with the miss. So at first I thought it was a ball position issue, but in reality it was more form related. So we addressed the with the hinge issue with the sand cake over the left shoulder drill, which is where he gets a good amount of sand on the club, and thankfully it was wet, so it helped out a lot. He got a good amount of sand on the club, and he felt like he was flicking it over his left shoulder just to help him feel that wrist hinge. So that was one thing. We tried the line behind the ball. That just didn't really do much other than show us that you're chunking it or you thin it. I actually have to go against what you were saying. I think your miss was more of a chunk. Which the chunk and the thin were both, I think we at least were able to work towards eliminating.
For sure.
I'm trying to think. Your post, and then another reason, once we got the hinge working, we were actually shifted more the thin to wins,
for sure.
And then we later addressed was he was finishing on his back foot quite a bit, so we addressed the weight shift, and I told him, I said, I actually want you to finish more on your left foot, which will help kind of prevent that shank and pulling that leading edge up and hitting the golf ball. But how do you think it went? Do you think we made some ground on this one?
For sure.
Okay.
The fact that now I feel like if I'm in the bunker, I can get it out in two putt, maybe even make the one putt, and I also feel more control. I can control more if I have a lot of gun to work with. I can throw up a little higher. Or if I have, tight lie, also know how to hit shot for that.
Yeah, and I think the wrist hinge will also kind of help with those short-sided shots.
Yeah.
And if you work on that a little bit more, you will have the ability to kind of, like I said, get cute with it and throw it up in the air and probably do a little bit more with the bunker shot. But yeah, overall, I think we worked really well, and I think we got a lot done, and I like the changes in progression we made.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, good deal.